Welcome, guys.
Radio net meets every Monday at 8 p.m. on the 146.73 MHz. WA3PB repeater of the Gateway FM Association. Membership in the tours ARC is not required to check into this net, as all radio amateurs are welcome. Like information about the Two Rivers Amateur Radio Club, you can write to us at P.O. Box 225, Greenall, PA, zip code 15047. That's P.O. Box 225, Greenall, PA, zip code 15047. We're also on the internet's World Wide Web at www.trarc.net. www.trarc.net. Radio Club meetings are held on the third Tuesday of every month, except July, August, and December. Recently, meeting locations have not been at McKeesport High School due to its closure. Before opening the net for check-ins, there's an emergency or priority traffic at this time.
Good evening, everyone. This is Whiskey America 3 Alpha Hotel Charlie. Welcome back to tonight's Radio Amateur Net. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and turn on the notification bell so you know every time I post a new video. And subscribe to my other channels. Now let's get back to the net.
I haven't heard anything lately, okay? Please, when you check into the net, into this radio net, to keep your call sign slowly and phonetically. Spell out your call sign, stating the announcements or comments for the net. At this time, I'm looking for any officers of the Two Rivers ARC wishing to check into this Two Rivers net. W3OC. W3OC, please recognize Kilo Bravo 3, Sugar Tango. Rob and Elizabeth Sanchez. Evening, Chuck. Evening to the net, no traffic. W3OC. Please copy. Kilo Bravo 3, Uniform Whiskey Charlie. Stephen Boston. Good evening, Chuck, and everyone else on the net. No other comments. W3OC. W3OC, please copy. Whiskey 3, Sierra Hotel Foxtrot. Steve in Pitcairn Heights. Good evening to you, Chuck, and everyone on the net. W3OC. W3OC, please recognize Whiskey India 3 Romeo. Roger and White Oak. Good evening, Chuck. Good evening to all on the net. No comment. W3OC. W3OC, please copy November 3, Golf Hotel Tango. Bill, Jefferson Hills, good evening to all. No traffic. Hey, thank you. I got Kilo Bravo 3 Sugar Tango, Kilo Bravo 3 Uniform Whiskey Kilo Bravo 3 Uniform Whiskey Charlie, Whiskey 3 Sierra Hotel Fox, Whiskey India 3 Radio, and November 3 Golf Hotel Tango. Any other members of the board of directors wishing to check in? Okay, thank you all. Alrighty. Okay, now I'm looking for stations that are offering mobile, portable, or outside of Allegheny County to the Two Rivers Net. Please copy Kilo Alpha 3, Yankee Golf Lima, Bruce in South Clonesville. Good evening, Chuck. I have no traffic and no further comments for the net. W3OC. Here's Kilo Bravo 3 Victor Sierra Papa, Dan out here in Beaver County. Good evening, Chuck. Good evening to the net.
W3OC.
Good evening. Please copy November 3. Tango Delta Victor Mike Portable. Good evening to the net. No traffic.
W3OC. W3OC. Please recognize Whiskey America 3 Alpha Hotel Charlie. Antonio St. Pittsburgh. Good evening, Chuck, and those on the net. I have no further comments from the net tonight.
W3OC. This is Kilo Bravo 3, leaving November Charlie. No traffic. Good evening, everybody. Kilo Charlie 3, Alpha Sierra, November. Going to Alexandria, Westmoreland County. Good evening, Chuck, and all on the net. W3OC. November 3, Zulu Charlie Hotel, Portable. Ricky.
So it was stopped.
W3OC. This is Whiskey, Uniform 3, Uniform Mobile, Kurt and Elizabeth, no traffic. W3OC.
J3PBD, name is Andy, portable in West Mifflin.
W3OC. He's copy Kilo Charlie 3, India, Romeo Foxtrot, Bob in Overbrook, portable.
W3OC. W3OC, please copy Kilo Charlie 3, Papa X-ray uniform, Brian and Elizabeth Township on portable, no traffic for the net.
Okay, now stand by. Let me get you what I got so far. That's Kilo Alpha 3 Yankee Golf Lima, Kilo Bravo 3 Victor Sierra Papa, November 3 Tango Delta Victor Portable, November 3 Zulu Charlie Hotel Portable, Kilo Bravo 3 Lima, November Charlie Mobile, Kilo Charlie 3 Alpha Sierra November, Whiskey Uniform 3 Uniform Mobile, Whiskey America 3 Papa Bravo Delta Portable, Kilo Charlie 3 India Radio Foxtrot Portable, and Kilo Charlie 3 Papa X-ray Uniform Portable. Okay, anybody else? Mobile portable or outside of like any kind of visitor receipt.
I'm not sure if they got me, so.
X-ray Hotel, Bill, Hancock County, West Virginia, no traffic.
W3OC. I'm not sure if you got me earlier, so I'm going to check in again. Whiskey, America 3, Alpha Hotel Charlie, Antonio in Pittsburgh.
Okay, I got Kilo Bravo 3 Oscar X-ray Hotel. Someone else on their very low audio. Try again.
Whiskey, America 3, Alpha Hotel Charlie.
Okay, got Whiskey America 3 Alpha Hotel Charlie.
Yes.
Anybody else? Mobile portable or outside of Allegheny County?
Yes, they got me. Okay. They got me. Yes.
Whiskey 3 Sierra Sierra Sierra. Sean, Liberty Burns. On the net. W3OC, please recognize Whiskey 3 Delta Tango Papa, Dog from Clarendon. Good evening, Chuck. Good evening, on the internet. No traffic.
W3OC. This is Kilo Alpha 3, Kilo Echo Victor, Denny and Plum. Good evening.
W3OC. W3OC, please recognize Kilo Charlie 3, India Romeo Golf, Ed and McKeesport. Good evening, Chuck. Good evening to everybody on the net.
W3OC. This is Kilo Alpha 3, Kilo Sierra Papa, Jim and Carnegie.
W3OC. W3OC, please recognize Kilo Charlie 3, November Foxtrot, Mike and Scott Township. Good evening, Chuck, and everyone on the net. No traffic.
W3OC. This is W3 Sierra Yankee Radio. Bob in White Oak. Good evening to all. Okay, thank you. I got Whiskey 3 Sierra Sierra Sierra, Whiskey 3 Delta Tango Papa, Kilo Alpha 3 Kilo Echo Victor, Kilo Charlie 3 India Radio Golf, Kilo Alpha 3 Kilo Sugar Papa, Kilo Charlie 3 November Foxtrot, and Whiskey 3 Sierra Yankee Radio. Anybody else? W3OC. This is November 3 Papa Studio from Chuck and Southville. Hello, Chuck, everyone on that. Okay, and 3 Papa Sierra Uniform. Anybody else? W3OC. This is November 3 Juliet Papa Quebec. Kurt in North Versailles. Good evening to the net and no comments.
W3OC. Kilo Bravo 3, Yankee Indian November, Rich McKeesport. No further comments.
Okay, I got November 3 Japan Papa Quebec and Kilo Bravo Bravo 3 Yankee into November. Anybody else?
W3SC. Please copy Kilo Alpha 3, Foxtrot Whiskey, Quebec, Jeff in Greensburg. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, Kilo Alpha 3 Fox Whiskey, Quebec. Alright, thank you all. Looks like things are slowing down a little bit on check-in. Thank you all, and happy holidays to all you and your families. Hope everybody has had a good Thanksgiving and trying to stay as safe as you can be with all this COVID stuff. Hope you and your families are all doing okay. General announcements regarding Two Rivers activities. The Two Rivers ARC has its Have the Next Breakfast. It's held on the second Saturday of every month at Dice Cornerstone Diner, 620 Long Run Road. It's in McKeesburg, Pennsylvania. Dice Cornerstone Diner is located at the entrance of the Olympic Shopping Center from PA Route 48. Recent breakfast gathering, which should have been last Saturday, was canceled due to the current restrictions on in-restaurant dining. Okay, also, let's see. Our December 8th Two Rivers ARC exam session was canceled, also due to the coronavirus restrictions and the location to really hold it. Same thing with our holiday dinners, or Christmas party, which was due last Sunday on the 13th. Again, we had to cancel that because of the current restrictions on in-person dining due to the virus, COVID virus stuff. We will be holding a radio club meeting tomorrow night at 7 p.m. at Droopy's Bar and Grill. That's located at 620 Boston Holland Road. That's right on PA Route 48, not far from the Boston Bridge. We will be using the outdoor facilities, what they call the greenhouses. It's a heated area. It's outdoors for the meeting. So hopefully maybe you can make it out there for that. That's at 7 o'clock tomorrow night at Droopy's Bar and Grill, 620 Boston Holland Road in Elizabeth, PA. Well, the address is Elizabeth, PA, but it's right next to Boston, PA.
Good evening, 8:13 p.m.
Okay, just looking through my little notes I prepared here. Let's see. Hopefully many of you managed to get a chance to work the ARL 10-meter contest over the weekend. I know this operator tried a little bit. We operated a little bit both Saturday and Sunday. Bands were very interesting as far as the propagation was concerned. I did not hear anything coming out of Europe or Asia. I had hoped maybe we might be able to hear some of that, but I was not able to. Saturday, the radio propagation on 10 meters seemed to be on a north-south path, favoring mostly the southern areas, southern states like Florida, Texas, and stuff like that, and also the deep into the middle of South America. I did not hear anything in between there very much, at least from this location. On Sunday, it was a little bit different. I didn't hear any major north-south activity, but I did hear east-west. And the West Coast in the middle of the afternoon was quite loud, but and there was some Midwest activity too. It seems this operator, I worked every station in California and Oregon and Colorado, and anything else in between I didn't hear. So it was typical, I think, of what they call E-skip propagation, a little bit rather than enhanced propagation conditions. The ARL's propagation forecast reported there was a slight downturn in solar flux activity over the last few days, and I believe there was a coronal explosion of some type on the sun here last week. I don't know if that affected things or not, but looks like we're slipping back a little bit as far as the propagation is concerned on the higher frequency bands. lower frequency band still appear to be pretty good. That would be 20 meters on down from the daylight hours up through the night.
Okay, that's kind of what I got. Okay, that's kind of what I got. Anybody have anything you'd like to add to any of my comments or anything? It's W306. Okay, all right. Well, let me flip on the computer over here and let's see what Newsline's got tonight. Like I said, I haven't listened to this, so I'll be here just like you. W306.
Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2250 with a release date of Friday, December 11th, 2020 to follow at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. Australian hams are denied access to 60 meters. Northern Lights in the northern U.S. and a talk with Newsline's International Newsmaker of the Year. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2250 comes your way right now. From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's first independent, on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now, reporting from Wadsworth, Ohio, Stephen Kinford, NAWB. In our top story this week, the Northern Lights put on a big sky show for the northern portion of the United States following a coronal mass ejections collision with the Earth's magnetosphere. Starting on Wednesday, December 9th, northern U.S. residents had their eyes on the sky for the Aurora Borealis from Washington State and Oregon all the way east to Maine. The Space Weather Prediction Center of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration said the light show was set off after a solar flare erupted from a sunspot on Monday, December 7th. Though the conditions may have created a thing of beauty in the sky, amateurs may not have felt the same way dealing with intermittent conditions on the HF bands. In Japan, fire damage to a major semiconductor factory is expected to disrupt the availability of audio components worldwide. Graham Kemp, BK4BD, gives us those details.
An inferno that raged recently in a major audio semiconductor factory in Japan is expected to have a stifling effect on the supply chain for both professional and upscale consumer audio components, including amateur radio equipment. The 3-day blaze consumed the AKM factory over an 82-hour period in late October. By the time firefighters got it under control, the building was so damaged, operations had to be shut. AKM is known for its DACs and ADCs, the digital to analog converter chips and analog to digital converter chips, used in the music and film industries and in radios. Semi-Media, a news source for the semiconductor industry, reported that production of the chips is not likely to resume for at least 6 months, prompting companies reliant on AKM to anticipate being caught short. In November, however, AKM issued a statement saying it plans to work with cooperating manufacturers and will prepare to outsource its production of the chips. A report in Semi-Media noted that despite this, and I quote, industry insiders said the shortage will be difficult to solve in the short term, which will become the biggest chip supply difficulty encountered by the audio industry over the years, end quote. From the Radio Newsline, I'm Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
Australian amateurs have been denied use of the 60-meter band. Robert Broomhead, VK3DN, brings us that report.
On the heels of a similar move by regulators in New Zealand, Australia's communications regulator has decided not to permit secondary access to the 60-meter band for the nation's hams. The December 7th announcement comes in spite of positive results to the survey done by the Australian Communications and Media Authority favouring secondary use status. The decision affects access to the 5351.5 to 5366.5 kHz band. The ACMA supported its decision in a statement saying, quote, public and non-public submissions from the Department of Defence show that expanding use of the 5351.5 to 5366.5 kHz band to potentially several thousand amateur operators could impact important radio communications operations. The ACMA recognises the high level of interest shown by the amateur community in adding this band and understands there will be disappointment, end quote. The ACMA called its decision appropriate and consistent with the Radio Communications Act of 1992. It added, quote, in particular, this includes supporting defence and national interest objectives, end quote. Radio Newsline, I'm Robert Broomhead, VK3DN.
In a part of Oklahoma with a proud space legacy, a new generation is touching the sky. This time via amateur radio. Here's Mike Askins, KE5CXP.
There's been a nice bit of astronaut history going on for years in Tecumseh, Oklahoma, and perhaps no one knows that better right now than the students in the Tecumseh High School Amateur Radio Club, K5DHS. On Friday, December 4th, they added themselves to that local history book when they spoke over amateur radio with ISS astronaut Shannon Walker, KD5DXB. The 9-minute Q&A happened over a 2-meter station built by 20 ham radio operators. Teacher Bill Crow, K5LUO, led the group in its efforts to get the station with its beam and rotators up and running. One by one, the students quickly stepped up to the microphone inside the school auditorium to deliver their questions to Shannon Walker, who this year became the first woman to fly inside a SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule. You can see a video of the exchange in the printed version of this report script on the Amateur Radio Newsline website, arnewsline.org. Making space history seems to be a natural for this part of Oklahoma. Gordon Cooper, one of the original Mercury 7 astronauts, was a native of nearby Shawnee and attended Shawnee High School, where he played on the school's football team. Gordon Cooper Drive is named for the space pioneer, and it runs between Shawnee and Tecumseh. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Mike Askins, KE5CXP.
In just a few days, the 12th day countdown to Christmas begins, and so does a popular holiday special event. Jim Dameron, NATMW, tells us how to get involved.
If Sally Rosato, K2RYD, is feeling a little bit like Mrs. Santa Claus right now, there's good reason. For weeks now, she's been getting wish lists from hams everywhere, and it seems they're all asking for the same present. Another chance to work the operators in the annual 12 Days of Christmas special event. Well, that wish has been granted. The third annual special event begins on December 14th at 0000 UTC and runs until Christmas Day at 2359 UTC. Operators from the Great South Bay Amateur Radio Club on Long Island will be back on the air, as will operators from Michigan, Arizona, and Virginia. As you've all been good little OMs and YLs, you're getting an extra special present. Some of the operators will be calling QRZ with 2 call signs, so you can grab your French hens and your turtle doves at the same time and qualify more easily for that clean sweep certificate. Be listening on 10 through 160 meters on SSB and CW. There will also be satellite operations. The party, however, doesn't end there. On Christmas Day, get back on the air and work Kilo 2 Bravo, the Christmas birthday special event, and celebrate with 3 amateur radio operators who will be a year older on December 25th. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jim Dameron, NATMW.
COVID precautions have canceled the traditional Christmas Eve transmission from Gramerton, Sweden, by the Alexander Association. The SAQ transmitter message is sent every year on 17.2 kilohertz. The association website posted a notice saying, quote, "We find it sad to have to make this decision, but see it as a necessary measure to protect everyone involved," end quote. The website directs fans of the historic transmitter to clips on YouTube where previous transmissions can be heard. A judge has ordered an 80-year-old former ham radio operator who was also a scout leader to prison. Andy Morrison, K9AWM, has the rest of the story.
A former amateur radio operator and scout leader in Illinois, who had helped more than 300 young men attain the rank of Eagle Scout over 40 years, has been sentenced to prison for child pornography, according to various news reports. A U.S. District Court judge ordered Milton Forsberg, formerly K9QZI, to prison for 6.5 years, a shorter sentence that the judge said takes into account his age and poor health. Forsberg pleaded guilty in August of this year. A report in the News Gazette said that Forsberg told the judge during a sentencing done via video that he was ashamed of himself. The prosecutor said police had also received a tip about inappropriate behavior when he was a scout leader, but he has not been criminally charged. For Amateur
Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Andy Morrison, K9AWM. Time for you to identify your station. We're the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on boats and stations around the world, including the VK8MA repeater in Australia's Northern Territory on Sundays at 7 p.m. local time.
W3OC.
With a new call sign and an ambitious agenda, AMSAT Ireland has launched itself. Here's more from Jeremy Booth, G4NJH.
After years of planning, AMSAT Ireland has announced that its organisation is complete and it has become active with the call sign EI2SAT. AMSAT Ireland is now seeking ham radio operators and other enthusiasts to become members. The organisation is part of the Radio Amateur Satellite Corporation, or AMSAT, which was created in the United States in 1969 to support ham radio's involvement in space research and communication. Interested hams are asked to visit the website amsat.ie. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jeremy Booth, G4NJH.
Because all hams need mentors, including those returning to the hobby after many years, one club in California has devoted itself to the task. Paul Brown, WD9GCO, tells us about them.
One of the hot topics in any discussion today about the future of amateur radio is always, how do we get more people interested? Another is, once we get them licensed, how do we keep them interested? One club in California was formed specifically to find some answers to those questions. Called Go to Hams, they're a fairly new organization, but they're very active and growing. I spoke with Vice President Mark Arlotti, KM6AHY, about what the club's goals were.
Go to Hams Amateur Radio Club is an active club. We wanted to put together a group that would be able to get new hams on the air and even get other hams that maybe had their call sign for a while back active again.
Arlotti spoke about club activities. One thing is a regular Radio in the Park event to raise public awareness. Their other activities are a bit more challenging.
We also like to do field ops, which is kind of like radio in the park, but a little more distance. Like we'll go out to the desert, out to the mountains, and we'll do a camping trip, and we'll set up a mobile station, load with batteries and solar panels. Next month in January, we plan on going out to Corpus in Arizona.
The club also has a very active net on a local repeater.
On a nightly basis, we do a ham net at 8 p.m. on WA6FCH repeater here in Southern California, and we do a roundtable where we answer questions and we talk about other things besides ham radio just to kind of keep people together. We always ask for first-time callers, and it's a good opportunity for them to just feel free to get on the air and talk and practice their skills.
The club's website is at gotahams.com. That's GOTAHams.com. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Paul Brown, WD9GCO.
In the world of DX, be listening for members of the ARI Club of Grosseto IQ5GR on the air as I05 CNPP until the 20th of December. They are activating in remembrance of the heroes of the 1986 Chernobyl nuclear power plant disaster. QSL direct to the address on QRZ.com or by the Bureau to IZ5RHU. A Heroes of Chernobyl diploma is available. For more details, see QRZ.com. Listen for a group of Senegalese operators on the air at 6V1A from Goree Island between December the 18th and 20th. They will be on CW and SSB on all HF bands, QSL using LOTW. If you want a direct QSL card, you can cover the cost via PayPal at 6V1A.ARAS@gmail.com. In Bolivia, Antonio, EA5RM will be active as CP1XRM between January 9th and the 26th. Working as a Solidaridad Medical and Radio Amateurs Without Frontiers NGO volunteer. He will be on the air on SSB and in the digital modes during his spare time, QSL via LOTW. Last week we announced that Newsline's International Newsmaker of the Year Award has been given to the Get on the Air to Care campaign, conceived of by Paul Devlin, G1SMP, who partnered with the UK National Health Service and the Radio Society of Great Britain. This week we'd like you to hear Paul himself explain the genesis and purpose of this award-winning project. Here's Ed Durant, DD5LP.
If Paul Devlin, G1SMP, had his way, the world would be a healthier place, emotionally and physically. That was, in fact, his stated goal in 2018, when he told the UK regulator Ofcom and his bosses at the NHS that he believed a ham radio station at the NHS could be the voice of global well-being, especially to people in remote areas. Paul told them,
It'll be the only government-level ham radio station in the UK, and we will use it for health and wellbeing. And when we promote global health and wellbeing initiatives, we will reach people that are off the grid using amateur radio.
with amateur station GB1NHS getting on the air and carrying its message 2 years before the world knew of COVID, the arrival of the 2020 pandemic brought a new role for GB1NHS, and indeed hams everywhere.
I had an idea for a weekend project, and my weekend project was called On the Air to Care, and I wanted to encourage just a handful of people where I live, really, to just set radios off and probably inspire with us and talk to a few people. And I just thought of them maybe Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So what I did is I went to the radio site at Gregory and I asked Steve, who's the general manager of the site in Heavens and communications manager, to just give me a little bit of support, give me a little bit of kind of, maybe a little bit of a PR around it to try and get people involved. Anyway, 48 hours later, On the Air to Care weekend project became Get On the Air to Care Global Synonymous.
The Radio Society of Great Britain spread the word in a bold move. Paul even got the BBC Director General to embrace it. Radio eased the social isolation of lockdown and quarantine, and a wave of new candidates signed up for the licence exams. Paul believes the world's oldest and most inclusive form of social media will continue to stay front and centre even after the age of COVID, because it brings us together no matter who we are.
Amateur radio is its ultimate leveller. It sees no boundaries, it's not discriminatory, it's not into ethnicity, it's not into religion, it's into this commonality of love for radio communications. And nothing else comes close to it. Nothing.
Congratulations again, Paul, and to your team for global community service in these pandemic times. Good luck going forward. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Ed Durant, DD5LP.
With thanks to the Australian Communications and Media Authority, Amateur News Weekly, the ARRL, CQ Magazine, David Behar, K7BB, Grindton World Heritage Foundation, Mark Klein, N5HZR, The News Gazette, QRZ.com, Radio Society of Great Britain, Semi-Media, ShortwaveRadio.de, Southgate Amateur Radio News, Strata-G.com, Ted Randall's QSO Radio Show, WCIA, W5NOR.org, WTWW Shortwave, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. Please send emails to our address at newsline@arnewsline.org. More information is available at Amateur Radio Newsline's only official website at arnewsline.org. For now, with Karen E. Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York and our news team worldwide, I'm Stephen Kinford, NAWB in Wadsworth, Ohio, saying 73, and as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2020, all rights reserved.
Good evening. 8:34 p.m.
Okay, it's W3OC Net Control for the Tubers Net. That concludes this week's Newsline transmission. Okay, I found one more item that I didn't mention earlier. Excuse me. On January 9th, the Wireless Association of South Hills is going to be holding their 2-meter simplex contest that operates on the 2-meter simplex frequencies, runs from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. So you might want to put that on your calendar. That's on January 9th. Okay, that's all I can find, at least so far. At this time, we'll take some late check-ins. I'll put a check as done so long.
WCOC. Please copy Kilo Bravo 3, Kilo Bravo Hotel, Greg and Castle Shannon. Evening, Chuck. Evening's on that time. No traffic. W306. Check in November 3 Bravo Juliet Alpha. And when you have a minute, I have an interesting propagation story for you for this past weekend. W3OC. WA3TFS. Jim Brentwood. No traffic.
Okay, got KA3KBH, N3 Bravo Juliet Alpha, with comments, and November Whiskey American 3 Tango Fox Sugar. Anybody else? N3BJA, go ahead, please.
Okay, let's take it evening to everybody out there running that. On Sunday, Dawn KA3IYI, he and I were trying to get connected up. Now, he lives down in coastal North Carolina, and we were texting back and forth. And while the band here was open to the West Coast, he was hearing New England. So it was very zonal in what it was doing.
Okay, all right, Roger. That's kind of what I experienced up here too, Dave. I think that's called ESKIP pretty much, what we had this weekend as far as operating, as far as propagation is concerned. But yep, that's what I saw. I personally was looking at the DX clusters, which if those of you don't know, that's a method of looking at DX call signs that are spotted worldwide. There are many of them worldwide. One really want to know, look on the Two Rivers ARC website. There's a place up there that says radio information. You can find information on DX clusters. We do have a local one here in the area. It's run by K3LR. So I was watching that too. A lot of spots coming from various places. None of it I could hear on myself. But maybe if you lived up on a high mountain top around here, you might have heard some of that. But I know I didn't. So it was really weird propagation on 10 meters for the aerial contest. But it was nice to hear the huge amount of signals on the CW part of the band. I didn't hear that much on phone. Boy, there were CW signals scattered all over the place. Okay. I don't have any more traffic or anything like that. So, okay. We'll close out this hour. ICOM 32 check-in this evening. Thank you all for taking the time to check in with us this evening. And everybody have a good week. Try to stay out of trouble, especially stay away from that nasty stuff that's going around. Okay, with that, this W3OC also, and this W3O closing the tours. Turn the repeater to Vector Johnny. Thanks.
Frequency.
Alright. Well, that's gonna wrap up tonight's Amateur Radio Net. If you guys enjoy, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, turn on that post notification bell. And yeah, guys, I'll see you next time. 73rds.